Hello and welcome to Rhodey's Place. Today I want to discuss how the internet is reshaping religion. This morning I found myself editing an old blog post I wrote back in 2019. In it, I referenced a study reporting that 40% of millennials, those are people born between 1981 and 1996, identify as religiously unaffiliated. That number struck me then, but now in 2025, I can't help but wonder, what does that percentage look like for Generation Z? Has it changed? Has it increased? And what are the long-term implications for future generations? Even back in 2019, I suggested that one of the most powerful forces behind this religious shift was the internet. The internet allows individuals to personalize their belief systems, to explore beyond denominational boundaries, and construct a faith that felt individually tailored. Then came 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic brought a global lockdown that lasted several months, and during that time, churches and houses of worship shut their doors. For many, especially young people, this pause in public worship was the tipping point. Services moved online and worship became something you could stream in pajamas or ignore altogether. In this moment, the role of religious institutions weakened and digital exploration strengthened. And I remember myself, during those times, I consumed so much spiritual content because we were inside for months and church was closed, and I would look at my service live stream, but it wasn't the same as being there in person. And also during that time, the future, it looked dim, it looked uncertain. So I can remember just constantly looking for reassurance. So I believe everybody, went through that same ordeal. And when there is fear, people look for answers to help reassure them that everything is going to be okay. The internet and the rise of customizable faith. Today, spirituality is more accessible and more customizable than ever before. Podcasts feature scholars who challenge traditional interpretations and expose inconsistencies in doctrine you may have once believed since childhood. Want to explore Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, indigenous beliefs? You don't need to step inside of a mosque, synagogue, temple, or church. All it takes is one TikTok reel, a well-edited YouTube short, or a spiritual meme to spark curiosity. And from there, you're pulled into a digital rabbit hole of belief. Now let's discuss influencers. When opinions become doctrine. I've watched influencers on platforms like YouTube and TikTok build entire spiritual frameworks from scratch, based not on sacred texts, but on personal experience and their own perspective. There are no elders guiding them, no communal accountability, and no theological vetting. Yet, they have what many religious leaders struggle to find: an audience. When hundreds of thousands of people agree with your viewpoint and share your content, opinion can start to look a lot like truth. This is where caution becomes necessary. In our age of social disconnection, it's easy for charismatic voices to create echo chambers and even cult-like followings in the name of spirituality. People are more isolated than ever and often find meaning, identity, and belonging in online communities, which may or may not be healthy or grounded. So let's look ahead. The AI era of spirituality. So what does the future look like? As artificial intelligence becomes more sophisticated, people are already experimenting with AI for spiritual support. some seeking guidance, emotional processing, and even prophecies through AI-powered tools. Imagine a world where your spiritual director isn't a person, but a chatbot trained on sacred texts, motivational quotes, and self-help language. What happens when the lines between divine wisdom and a logarithmic suggestion starts to blur? Closing thought. This is not just about millennials or Gen Z walking away from religion. It's about how belief itself is evolving. In this digital age, faith isn't just practice. It's curated, streamed, shared, and sometimes sold. And as we move into a world shaped by digital voices and artificial minds, we have to ask, what does real truth look like, and where will we find it? Thank you for listening to my video. Don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe. Have a blessed day.